But this is like this close. I'm looking at a bunch of places. Actually, I'm going to look at one right now. And I've been actively looking. And I'm going to make it so that my poor kids don't feel ashamed of me anymore, because I did get very depressed to the point that I actually wasn't sure if I was going to get better. But I am, because I officially want something again, which is winning, in my opinion.
Yeah,
even
for
if
sure.
I'm not, and I'm kind of not. I'm at the suffering with a bunch of wolves in the downtown area, which I avoided like the plague. But you can look at it any way. If you're downtown, it's like, oh, the good news is I'm right downtown, but the bad news is I'm right downtown. It's like, which is worse. I'm not really sure. At least there's lots of people around. You know, I'm gonna make it better though. And I was also raised here and chose to come here, and it was hard. I had to do a very complicated mortgage to get here and pay a piece of property in full. And we were pre-approved and looked for months and months. We got a place in PX, and it didn't work out how I thought. I ended up getting a job that I thought was a dream job, but it turned into a nightmare. I was so depressed by what went on at the old folks home up north house there, and it's supposed to be a good one. Horrible. Nothing anybody could do or say would make me take that job back. They could pay me double and I wouldn't go back to it, honestly. But you know, back then, at least the community respected that I was working myself into this grave with my poor, like, not believing in that what they were doing morality, because it was brutal, honestly. I've never experienced anything quite like it, and I was straight up in denial of it because I thought that it was what I wanted. I wanted it so badly to make a difference to the people that I kept trying to deny that it was like literally like dying to be there. But guess what? Now I know that my family or anybody I love is never going to any place like that, but I can guarantee you that the bosses are.
Well, you can check out our channel.
What is your channel?
It's
and
Canadians.
What is it all about?
Canadians for Police Accountability.
Okay.
And it's 4 as in the number 4. And
do you have a card?
I don't.
Any chance? Oh,
yeah,
no.
unfortunately,
okay,
I don't.
And because I have a memory like a sieve. I have like the worst ADHD ever, I'm not filling my prescriptions because I don't like the fact that I have to be on a drug.
I don't think I even have a pen on me.
You know what? I do. I think, as far as I know, but I'm not certain.
We're on.
I think I had one that was. Do you have a pen? No, maybe. I wish. I know. So, I had one in my other bag. I think it was for police community for police Canadians
for police accountability.
That's a bit of a mouthful.
It is.
And I don't have a phone because Brandon screwed off with his. Otherwise I'd just type it and save. But you know what, I don't know if I do have one. My girlfriend has all my other ones that have my pens mixed in.
Well, you can try C4PA. It might come up for that.
Okay. Well, I'm appealing an incident where they took literally thousands of dollars worth of my belongings. And since I got back from Penticton, I was living in Penticton and working in Oliver all summer long. And when I got back, I had a bunch of stuff and a bunch of ideas and a bunch of money, and I was like trying for getting a place, and I had like, you know, a sectional and a couple of items that I'd purchased for, you know, my new place in hopes that it would happen. They literally went out of their way to bypass another camp that had been there longer and was disgusting in order to come where my immaculate area was, where I was barbecuing hot dogs for my out-of-town company that was moving me. And they got lost and went to the wrong U-Haul yard, and in the process they took all the stuff that they had put us for us, like they said, put all your most important stuff to the road. Well, we did, and they started throwing the stuff that we put there out first. Our bed, our furniture, you know, and made all of my ex's tools, which has now resulted in me being single as well, because it was devastating. They took his tools twice and broadcasted on Facebook that we were thieves, and we didn't steal anything. Do you know somebody came down there demanding their tires and rims or some bloody thing back, and we didn't know what they were talking about. And we thought maybe we had seen some down further, like thrown, and so we took the police there and showed them. And it wasn't, and they found the stuff, but guess what happened? The people took it on themselves to post it on Facebook that we were the thieves.
Oh, wow.
We weren't.
Yeah.
And we were horrified. And then we had angry,
I saw,
community
actually,
members.
that was from
Yeah.
Swan
Do you know
Lake.
Trevor, the guy who brings us our food and stuff? He came down terrified and told us about it before we even got notified by anybody else. He's
Yeah.
like, you wouldn't believe what they've posted on Facebook. You guys should move. And we couldn't. We had a 150-foot covered area where we were custom building bikes because we have like a really good idea about that as well.
Yeah.
However, that was really wrong of them. So I actually am considering a personal lawsuit against that business as well. The business and the individuals responsible for posting that.
Yeah.
That was really wrong of them, and they caused us a lot of grief. And I lost everything I had again. Within 4 hours after I went to my father's for Father's Day and a visit, all of my belongings were gone, from my furniture to my clothing.
Yeah.
4 hours. Oh my God. My ex had a meltdown. He was like beside himself. It took me a month to find him when I got back from him.
Yeah.
And I came back with nothing. I came back to nothing, and then they managed to take it from me again. So they don't want us to do well. They want us to be up at Becker and out of there by 9. They want to wake us up forcibly by police every morning and kick us out of where we're at. And they won't give us a place that we are allowed to stay. There isn't one. They don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And the places won't even rent us a campsite.
Yeah.
And if we did get one, sometimes it's $50 a day, which is double rent for an apartment, and we couldn't get one if we tried. And I've got great references. No criminal record. I've even got good credit. I've bought and sold businesses and have people that would vouch for that any day of the week, and I can't even get in to see a place or get taken seriously because I have no choice but to take advantage of the facilities that are monopolized by freaking turning points, and it's a joke. They're a joke. I was assaulted in the facility in the only women's bathroom that existed there, and they never disciplined the guy. 6 months later, even, he was still my neighbor, and nothing had happened.
Wow.
Do you know how screwed up that is?
That's totally.
I know,
Yeah.
and he jumped on my back while I was dumping a mop bucket, and I ended up saying, listen, I'm going to hurt you if you don't get off of me, and then foot swept him and knocked his tooth out, and he went down and tried to press charges against me, and they favored him, but he had thrown hot tea on me in front of staff, and there had been multiple incidents that led up to it, and they never did a goddamn thing. There was videoed evidence of him going back and forth to my room, breaking in. He tried to let people break into my room when I wasn't there. There was someone in there with bear spray, thank God, who came running down and told me what he'd done. But the facility was oblivious to it, and they weren't even clients that were there. And they would not do anything to stop it. So what, was I supposed to live in fear or go away? Because that's pretty much what he had threatened me.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they wanted. It's what they created. And it didn't even result in housing. I lost half of my belongings to move in there and donated a ton of stuff to them thinking that it was going to result in me getting housing, and it didn't. So I've had some really bad experiences that are vouched for by many people. And they want me on the committee, so I'm going to. But I was afraid to do it while I was living there.
Yeah.
Because it's basically not, I don't even know where the money comes from there, but it's definitely not being appropriated. And it scares the shit out of me that I was in there and they all have the key. And I'm like considering like probably being their worst nightmare in consideration with all of the crap that I know about stuff that they've done. Like there were people with jobs that were asking for wake-up calls. They never give them. They wouldn't even let some poor fellow know that his dad was dying in the next town over, that literally they could have reached around from their office door and woken him up like this, and they didn't. Somebody had to physically come down there yelling and demand to see him to get him there. And he missed seeing his dad before he died. He's still crying about it. It was last Christmas. One of our fellow residents was dead in the middle of the floor upstairs for over an hour before anybody would call 911, and a resident tried to save his life and literally shook RW and said, call 911. He's dead. Are you going to give him CPR? And he was dead, dude. Like, there was no point. And everybody there was traumatized. You can't unsee that.
Yeah.
And it's not the only incident. It's disgusting. They panic. They don't know any better.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? You know, there's people that know how to deal with this, as unpleasant as it is. Your poor brand new college students don't need that. It's going to ruin their careers and their hopes. This is not what they need to deal with. It's scary. I don't care how much training you have, because I've saved 100 people, and I don't do opiates. I never have. I feel like the world's most unfortunate soul, because they literally called me before they called the ambulance sometimes. Why? I don't know. But it's resulted in a lot of saved lives, and I think it's horrible because I need to go to sleep literally afterwards because I'm so stressed out. But like, those college students, they don't need to see that, because it shuts the mission down. They have to shut down after anybody sees an overdose. That's how scared they get. It's because they don't know. But you know what? Some people do, and they're willing to be the ones that are on site, and we are not given the choice because we're not certified. But they are, and they're shutting down the mission over it so that everybody else can't even use the washroom or the phone. Are you guys for real? How is that working? It doesn't work. We need to be peer supported, and it's not right.
Yep.
They don't know. They don't know because they don't live it. I understand that. And it is scary. And people in emergencies, they're ridiculous. Like, some people lay down and go to sleep. Like, literally can't deal with it to the point that they curl up in balls and run off. And it's like, where did everybody go? and then who's left? Those are the people that you need there. And there's only a few, but I know who they are. And so does everybody else. But every single time you do the same thing for some reason. I shut down after, thank God. But at least while it's happening,
You drop something.
I do what I need to do. And that's the bottom line, because some people don't. And people die because of it.
That's right.
Like poor Chris and everybody else that fucking died. Well, they were at the hands of like trained people. And the ambulance attendants are great. I give them props because they're everywhere where they need to be. But oh my God, are they ever immune? And you know what? I don't care how many times a day they deal with it. If you're dealing with somebody's loved one, you don't casually talk about the weather and stuff while they're dying. Okay?
Yep.
And I had to like be like, you guys, listen, I'm right here and I love this guy. So either get the fuck out of my way and let me do it, or do what I'm supposed to do. Excuse me. And they're like, oh, well. I'm like, seriously though, stop.
Yeah.
Stop talking about that. Stop insulting. Stop. Just do it or get out of the way.
Yeah.
Because it's like that. I just needed the door down, you know? Because I'd already kicked the door off the frame, and it was the second one in the house. And the first time I didn't have any, I couldn't get to the phone. So I was stuck there for 45 minutes, and it straight up traumatized me. And I didn't want to leave him alone because it wasn't my choice. And he would have lied to me until the day he died because he was so ashamed of me. And I understand that, but nobody else would. And I begged for everybody to help me with it, and because it's his choice, I couldn't. And the day before he died, he had enrolled himself. He went down to primary care with the A-team and enrolled himself in treatment and wanted to tell me, but he was so exhausted from his day, he just wanted to sleep first.
Yeah.
And I never got to see him again.
Wow.
So, and the night before that was one of the most wonderful nights we ever had, because we talked about all the things that we wanted to do, and we were trying to allow what had just happened in our life at home to wash off, because somebody had come into our room and taken like our engagement rings and everything. And I had like my last poetry that he ever wrote. Little did I know, he didn't have much time left. I didn't know. It was horrible. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But you know what? He didn't deserve to live like that. He knew better. And that's why he was so angry. And I feel sorry for him. But it's not going to bring, nothing anybody could say or do would bring him back anyway. So what do? I loved him to death. He knows it. He said he wished that if there was ever something to come to him, you know, demise-wise, that he could just disappear somehow so that I wouldn't know. But he knew I was way too smart to believe that he should just leave, and that it was going to be painful no matter what. So he always used to say, please, you know, please be okay, you know. And I'm trying my hardest.
Yep.
But I miss him every day.
I bet.
And I feel alone all the time. At first, I felt like I was floating around with a hole in my chest, like it was bad. And it's been over a year, like it was a year, August 22nd, and it feels like, in a way, forever, and like it's been no time at all, because everywhere I look, I see his face, and that's why I left for a while in the summer. But because of the circumstances I couldn't control, I broke my finger, lost my ring, and I made good money too, over $100 a day, even paying the temp agency, because like I said, no record. I worked at Leadcore, like a subcontract for Leadcore on Vancouver. And I did landscaping, which he loved to do and didn't know. He said he felt better than he had ever felt in it, like before, like even before in some ways, but especially since the accident, physically and emotionally, from working with landscaping, and he didn't know how, so he was getting taught by me, and he just thought it was fantastic. He was such a good sport. Such a funny person. And we'd sit there and eat peanut butter and jam for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and be happy about it, you know. And anybody who's ever had that doesn't deserve to lose it, especially when they're just starting to feel like there's a chance they're going to make it. And I've spent 17 years with someone else that I never felt that way with. I feel super ripped off. but it's the way it is. What do you do, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, it's the one thing that nobody can do or say anything that is going to change, period.
Yeah.
And it's devastating. And this poor community has suffered so much. I could only just imagine how many people's lives were broken by all the lives that have been lost, you know? I can only just imagine, because it's hell. It's hell.
Yep.
And nobody deserves to deal with it. It's definitely a catastrophe. And I hope that they find a solution, but until they do, we're kind of stuck dealing with it.
Yep, for sure. Well,
And
thank you for
really
your
badly
time.
for it to end. You betcha.
And,
I hope that you,
yeah,
end
check
up
out-
finding what you need to find, and you should chase them until the cows come home.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
they're
for
doing
sure.
wrong.
Yep.
And I asked them last time, like, how do you even look at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
You guys are jerks. I can't believe you're doing this. You know what their reasoning for taking my stuff was last time? Because I couldn't carry it. I said, what, are you trying to tell me that you can carry all the stuff you own? I said, shame on you. You should, I don't know how you guys stand yourselves and look in the mirror. You're disgusting, and you are the problem as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And you know what? The reason why people don't respect you and don't reply is because you don't deserve it. You guys don't deserve or respect or warrant any compliance. You guys are wrong. You're doing the wrong thing for the wrong reasons. And if you think you're helping, you're wrong.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully they pay for that karma tape. What else can you do?
Okay, well,
I'm not going to do anything for them, that's for sure.
okay. Well, thanks
You know,
again. Looks
I
like
hope that you do well, because that's a good reason to be following.
yeah.
Follow them and make their lives as hellish as they made some of the other people I know.
Yeah, as soon as I started filming him, he's like, "What are you doing?"
I'm glad for you, but you know, make
And then
sure
he
you
left.
tell everybody what you're doing so that they become okay with it, because it is a little odd. Not gonna lie, because you're not wearing any like anything that makes you stand out or lets it.
Well, that's kind of the idea.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I want the bylaw and the police to come up to me
And say what
and see what they're going to do. Yeah, yeah. I also do
what kind of
auditing. I also
responses have you
do
got?
auditing.
Oh, really? Eh?
Yeah, like I audited BC Transit, and they weren't very happy I'm there, and they actually denied me entry.
Oh,
It's a
yeah?
public place.
Oh yeah, I know.
What they
do it
did.
all the time.
They broke
say when
my
this place is closed,
charter
it
of
becomes
rights.
Not public.
Yeah.
Did you know that we're not allowed to be here, walk through here with our stuff after hours?
Yeah. That's
Why?
crazy.
Since when?
Yeah.
Since when? I don't understand that. That doesn't make sense to me. This is a free country. I think not.
Anything that's publicly accessible.
It's ridiculous, is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, the business technically,
It's
you know.
across from a 24-hour business where everybody goes all night long because it's 7-Eleven. Like, seriously, you can't walk through here?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
That's a gray area if I ever heard it. Why do they insist on residing in the gray?
Yeah.
What's wrong with the reality of it all? Oh, what? It's not fair? A little bit discrimination? Really?
Yeah.
Shocking. Isn't that exactly what everybody keeps saying?
Yeah. So
when some people say it, you know, you maybe got a loophole. When everybody's saying it, guess what? There's truth. And this is one of those, for sure.
well,
So,
check out the channel, and then
I'm
if you
gonna
do
go
get
on
your site going, put a comment in there, and I can help try and refer people to you.
Okay, there's some ladies
help you
that
with-
are very proactive and very aware. They get a lot of stuff shared with them through
Yep.
a industry or a foundation out of Kelowna, I believe. The Hope. It's
Yep.
like for women, an
Yep.
outreach for women. It's
Yep.
HOPE, and it's an abbreviation.
Yep.
And then the Camille LaFleur has a nurse on there named Sharon.
Yep.
It's fabulous. She's a retired elementary school teacher, I believe.
Yep.
And she gave me some very valid points about the Howard Society facts or whatever, and its transition into turning points. And I didn't realize it, but she was right. And I bet you any money, when I get to that part with my crap that I have to deal with legally, there's going to be some serious disclosure. But I will be in touch at that time, because I'm not going to be dealing with that. That's personal.
Well,
and then the rest is
mainstream
for
media
someone else.
doesn't want this stuff put out there.
Oh, I know they don't.
That's
Tooth and nail.
kind of why I've started doing it.
I know, and
Yeah.
I'm seriously considering, once I start making breakthroughs and have my secure place to stay, etc., and I'm able to work freely, I'm going to start either a column in response to some of the stuff, like start writing letters to get in, or else I'm going to talk with someone at the newspaper, because it deserves a lot more attention than it's getting.
Yeah.
And there's some extreme situations that I can think of.
Yep.
Extreme. And somewhere, if other things hadn't have happened, these people would be without full-time jobs that they have to this day as a result of the actions of people at shelters, etc. Seriously. And it's amazing, like shocking amazing.
Yep.
And it's true. Because all they do is threaten you with the cops. And some people, that's all it takes.
I don't understand how our society thinks that following homeless around with the police, chasing them off from one property to the next, does any good. Why aren't they showing up and giving them? Why aren't they showing up and giving them a voucher for something to eat somewhere and saying, "Hey, here's the address of a place that you can go."
There isn't. That's
I know.
why.
I know. I actually asked one. I was talking to one cop just a little while ago that was chasing some away.
Yeah.
About that, and that's what he said, is that they built all these things but it's never enough and that they're overloaded and stuff.
It is enough. A little bit of kindness, a little bit of understanding, a little bit of working with somebody who's really down on their luck when they need it goes a long way. If you do something that person thinks is truly helping them when they've got nothing and been nothing but put down and treated like crap, it's freaking like your best friend and then some. They're so loyal. They'll keep their jobs. They'll keep their words. They'll do anything. I would do anything for a chance to get the fuck out of here. Do you think I want to stay at the shelter? Everything I owned that was valuable, right down to the cords, my flashlight has been stolen from me.
Yeah.
I don't have a penny to my name, and of course, because I'm in the shelter now, they canceled my check, took off my shelter, and then made me have to also, in addition to that, provide all of my proof of income from my 1 month of employment right before Christmas bonus while I'm in the shelter where I don't want to be. Thanks, guys. You know, like that's just what I needed, because now I watched everybody have their checks and stuff and they're all wasting it. And I am not and don't want to be there, and I don't have any freaking choice, because other than that, they're going to run me out of anywhere I go for sure and treat me like crap, even if I have to go to the hospital. And I don't even use opiates. I'm allergic. It would kill me, actually, which is ironic, but it's true. I had surgery when I was a kid, and I can't have them anymore. I got a cumulative reaction to it. It used to be only codeine. Now it's everything. I can't take pain medication, and I have arthritis that is so freaking painful I can barely walk. And you know what? I don't get any relief from it, and I have been the opposite of an opioid.
And then being out in the cold here, I'm sure doesn't help.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It affects me more than anything. I raised kids up in my house with my son that passed away recently. It kills me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
In the paper. You know that?
Yeah.
It's killing me a little bit all the time. And I look around, and people that I used to know have changed into shells. And there's nothing I can do about it. Because they're not there. And there's nothing I can do about it. And it doesn't affect me the same as everybody else, because I'm not getting that freaking free ride to La La Land that everybody else seems to be taking. But you know what? I think that's a lousy excuse for a life. And I think that what they're opting for is taking their lives. And until they agree, it's not stopping. So why doesn't everybody like kick dirt in their eyes some more? Because it's really not helping them or anything else. And people like me suffer by it because I didn't choose this, and most of the people I know didn't choose what they've got either. We don't want to be here, but we don't have anything that's been offered as a true solution, and we don't have any choice but to be treated like we've done something wrong. They make us come in, they make us do this, they feed us at certain times. It's horrible. If you don't feel like it, tough shit, you have to deal with it, and oh well. I'm so not happy about it. It's not even funny. It's like the last place in the entire world I want to be is exactly where I am. And my boy even says that it's my own fault and that I should be ashamed of myself and put myself exactly where I needed to be. Really? Great. Thanks, son. Because you know what? It figures you say that. You know, he did tell me to fuck off wearing Versace when I was spoiling and rotten, and didn't help me when I needed it too. You know, but that's no excuse for his outlook. It's because of what he's been told and what he believes based on what he hears and sees and other people's word. And guess what? It doesn't apply to me, and it never has. But guess what? Everybody thinks it does, and therefore it's true. Isn't that sick? Because they can believe the lies and they become truths, and it's really sad. Because I could stand up and tell the truth till the cows come home, and if they don't believe me, what's the difference? Oh well, talking to the wall.
So my name is Randy. So you can tell people if you want within the homeless community that I'm walking around, and if they see me filming,
What have you got on there? What does it say? Because I can't see very well. Oh yeah,
What's
the
that?
panhandle jacket. Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. If they see me, I'm not there for them.
We were just asking that when you came up.
Yeah.
Because that guy's blind,
I'm to
right?
follow.
So he's panicking about what you've got the camera for. I'm like,
Yeah.
stop it. Nobody can film you without your permission, so stop it right
Well,
now.
actually, it's not true.
I
In
know,
public.
But stay.
In
Okay?
public, yeah. I respect people if they don't want
I
to be
know.
filmed. I try
I
not to.
understand.
But I also want to talk to you guys to
I
get your word out there so that
I
people
know.
see it. Because people see homeless people and they automatically think it's all drugs and it's all
Well, a
they
lot
were
of it
dumb
is,
and
they're
some
not,
of it is.
It's not ignorant of them to think that. It's just a little bit shallow in terms of the actual underlying stuff. They didn't choose that. It's not because they wanted to grow up and be drug addicts even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
seriously, things happen. Like, God help you if you get into an accident is all I have to say. to you.
I look at it the way that if you're seeing homeless people and you're seeing more and more homeless people,
There's
why
a
aren't you
problem.
asking questions as to why it's
There's
happening
a huge
and
problem.
why
There's a
we can't
housing
fix
problem.
that?
Well, there's a discrimination problem. And there's a
Yeah.
housing program. Have you looked at the ads offering
No.
rentals? You should.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they're telling you exactly what age, sex, and etc.
Oh,
that
I've
they
seen
want.
I've seen the odds. Yeah.
Oh, no,
they don't
there's
want
so much-
smokers,
it's
drinkers, no
ridiculous.
animals, no.
No,
nothing.
it's not even the nose. It's
Yeah.
what they're looking for. Looking for younger female, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Must be health oriented,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like that is so not cool.
Yeah.
You're not supposed
I
to judge
understand
anything.
sometimes,
I do,
like if it's a young,
except
let's just say it's a shared accommodation and it's a young
find
girl.
A friend. Like find
Yeah.
a friend.
Yeah,
Idiot.
but if it's
Like,
a young girl and she wants somebody, I don't think she's going to want a young guy.
no kidding, but she
yeah,
can screen them without putting that in.
that's
her
right.
ad.
I agree.
Like a
Yep.
normal person is
Yep.
supposed to, according to the law in Canada. Like,
That's right.
Seriously.
Yep.
That is really discouraging to people that aren't able to find what they're looking for.
That's
Do
right.
you think somebody wouldn't know that that person isn't where they wanted to live in 5 minutes of conversation
Yeah.
if they made the call?
Yep.
But do you know how many people don't make the call because of that ad?
Yep.
I'm so frustrated with it. Because
Yes.
guess what? By the time they answer and there's a time that they can show, I've had my fucking phone stolen again. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I've lost, like, when I got here from Penticton this year also, I had a S10 Plus, a beautiful one, the nicest phone I've ever had. And like, I swear, since then I've lost 3. And that was since July.
Yep.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of
Yeah.
dollars. How am I supposed to keep on there to keep my freaking work up for finding it? It's
Yeah.
hard to even keep motivated. It's so depressing.
It's crazy how
It's disgusting.
much money those cost and you know how cheap
It's
they are.
disgusting. And,
How
like,
cheap they actually are to make.
Absolutely ridiculous is what it is. I've had them really cheap and I've had them really expensive, and it's neither here nor there. It's just a horrible, horrible reality. Because what's happened is I'm subject to be put in a place where I don't want to be. The last place in the world that I would ever choose to be is exactly where I am, dealing with the kind of people that I would never associate with, and
Yeah.
having to on such a regular basis that they're in my face 24/7 in my stuff.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
And I don't even have a record.
Yeah.
Like I donated 8,000 pounds of asparagus in 2 years and got tax write-off for commission. And
Yeah.
nobody who even works there knows that it's been that much turnover and change.
Yeah.
And that wasn't that long ago.
Yep.
Out of my pocket, I drove it back from Armstrong every day from all the farms all the way home.
Wow.
I did art in the park, museum. I did so much freaking outreach work for the Salvation Army. I used to cold call for their refunding Christmas advocations and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like in response to all of the donations from last year, I worked hand in hand with the pastor's wife. We did free catering for all of their events. Decorated the Talkin' Donkey, and I used to do the Thursday cheddar and broccoli soup every day, free by volunteer.
Yep.
Did the mums and tots and the Christmas kettles, you name it, all out, all the time. And this is what I get when I'm down on my luck.
Yeah.
It makes you really wonder, doesn't it?
Yep.
Because
for sure.
I don't get a break in the world. I haven't had even a person that I call a friend ask me about how my family's doing in years. Some of my closest friends didn't even know I have kids because they never ask. And I'm not telling them because they're not listening, trust me.
Yeah.
It's a terrible, terrible reality.
Yep.
And I wish I was anywhere but there. Anyway, I definitely didn't want this.
Yeah.
It's not what I chose. I
for
took
sure.
all kinds of other things, and this is what life gave me.
Yep.
Believe me.
Well,
And
keep
it's not good
going,
because I'm freezing, and I've got my father's hands, man. My rheumatoid is so bad. I slipped on the ice, and it never healed. And then they finally checked it out, and I have rheumatoid, but it hurts so bad, it's nauseating.
Yep.
And I don't want to be out here. I can tell you that much.
Yep. Well, keep fighting. I know you're gonna. I know you're gonna make it out of this.
I'm gonna follow through with everything that I want to do, and once I start getting the positive things, I probably will want to be a happier person. But right now, I swear, stuff's not so great, and it's just like really hard to chin up and keep going. But
Okay.
good for you for what you're doing. It's gonna help perform.
Thank you.
And that fellow at the Little Green Hotel, if he gets his hooks in there, he's a recovered addict. He said he's gonna do something in the office space.
Awesome.
So I might go talk to him.
Yeah. Thanks so much. So there you go. Okay. So there you have it. Our system, whatever we're doing now, isn't working, and yet they're not willing to change it. We need to find a way to make it better. I know Canada has been talking about doing a basic income, and I wish they would hurry up and do something like that. At first it's going to eliminate a lot of government jobs, but I think a lot of those government employees are paid a little bit, maybe too well, for what they have to do, and I think it's better to give to a majority of people rather than just to a very select few. I think in all, the basic income definitely is going to make a big difference. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry it's a little bit long, but it's really good to get people talking, and hopefully it'll help them. Have a good evening, and hopefully more and more people will check these kind of issues out, and hopefully it will start to make things better for people. Hopefully we can solve some of these problems, at least get it so it's not increasing and it's starting to decrease instead. Thank you.